What's up, YouTube? Welcome back. 45 Super ammo test returns. It's been a while since I've made a video. It's heavy work season right now, but I did squeak in some time and hopefully we get it in before the weather. 45 Super, if you saw our first test, we'll put it up right here, is a pretty powerful cartridge. It's taking a 45 ACP cartridge, it's working the case around a little bit, also known as 45 SMC sometimes, just a little different primer situation going on there. But 45 Super / 45 SMC is just a super hot rod version of 45 ACP. The last time we were testing it, it was a hollow point. This time we have a solid copper. So these are 135 grain Xtreme Defenders from Underwood. And these little screwdriver looking guys are going at an advertised velocity of 1,600 feet per second. Pretty cool looking cartridge. We all know what the Xtreme Defenders / penetrators, whatever the whole line is of Xtreme screwdriver things, we all know what they do. They love to travel deep through gel. They don't really get disrupted by anything. They usually fly pretty straight. We're assuming that this is going to be no different. The hollow point we tested last time was a 185 grain jacketed hollow point, and that thing did pretty well. It was very explosive on the way in the block. The thing is it doesn't penetrate the block very far. I think it made it to right about the center. You got to look at that video. I don't even remember exactly what it did other than put a pretty big wall up, dump a lot of energy, but not get very far. We're expecting these, like I said, to get much farther. I'm going to eventually have 3 blocks lined up. For now I have 2. We're going to get some velocity testing done. As long as this chronograph behaves itself, we're going to be 15 feet off of it and 20 feet off this B8. I use a B8 because it's a good measurable standard. We've been using it with all of our 10mm testing. It's just a really good, easy to see target. I really like it a lot. Now the firearm we'll be using today is my Remington R1 chambered in 45 Super, and what makes it a 45 Super is the way it's sprung. It's very heavily sprung. There's a few other tricks in there to make it able to handle this cartridge as opposed to the regular 45 ACP or 45 plus B cartridges. Now we test all kinds of ammo, but this is a special request. This came up in a super chat and somebody definitely wanted me to test these. They made it very clear they wanted me to test these. So here we go. You know who you are. Thanks for providing the means to get these, and let's see how they do. And for anybody who didn't know, yes, we do live chats. They're really fun. You should stop by. It's usually Mondays, Wednesdays, or Thursdays. And sometimes we do special chats, but usually it's just a random topics live chat. Stop by, say hi, or drop a comment, whatever you want, ask a question. It's pretty fun. Lasts about an hour, hour and a half. We'd love to see you there. And just since we haven't made a video for a while, I do have to remind everybody, we are a no-shill channel. We are a no bullcrap channel. We tell it like it is. We're honest. We don't take money from anybody. We don't take products from companies and come here and tell you to buy them. We don't have coupon codes. We don't have any of that stuff. We'll never try to sell you things because it's not what we do. If anything, this test is possible because of cutter skin stations, because the bugs are a nightmare. It's a sweaty, nasty place right now, and the bugs are everywhere. So, all right, we are 20 feet off that chronograph. Hopefully the chronograph behaves. Like I said, it's pretty overcast right now. I think it's about to rain, but we're going to put 5 shots in the center of that B8. Hopefully we get them all in there really nice. I'm doing it offhand. A lot of people say, why don't you do this off of a rest? Because in a defensive situation, for defensive ammo with a defensive handgun, I wouldn't have a rest. So I know this isn't true bench type of testing, but that's not what I'm after. And this would be best case scenario is that I get my chance to take my time and take the best aim possible. Think of Texas church type of situation. So I'll give it my best possible chance offhand. .45. There was a lot of flash, but the recoil was just not there. It's poppy, like to the ear, and it's flashy, but recoil was very not there. .1409. .1433, and yeah, there is recoil there, but nothing more than, like, let's say a 9mm, I would say, or a 40 caliber. .1425. .1413. Let's go see how we did. Here's our velocity and our foot-pounds per pretty substantial. And accuracy is awesome. I know where this one came off. This was my third shot, I believe. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that was third shot. I kind of heeled the gun over a little bit. All the rest of these went off when I pulled the trigger, and the front sight was where it was supposed to be. You always hit what you're aiming at, and right here, when I broke the trigger, that's pretty much where I was aiming. I totally pushed the gun over. I'm surprised I wasn't in the white somewhere. So totally my fault, and really nice here. That's about all you can expect out of iron sights, 3-dot white sights, going pretty close to dark. You can't see it on the camera, but it's pretty dark out here. Not that I'm making excuses for iron sights. I love iron sights. Iron sights on this gun are very nice. This gun shoots this round very nice, and the results are there, at least 20 feet offhand. Let's put it through some gel and see what kind of damage we can get. All right, hopefully this gets dead center and works first shot. 15 feet off that gel. Let's see what happens. .1434. So we see our typical initial entrance with these type of rounds. They make a good permanent wound cavity on top of temporary wound cavity. Now in the slow motion I just looked at, it didn't look too impressive actually, but the foot-pounds are there. We know that the projectile is doing its job when it comes to energy transfer, and for 45 ACP we're getting pretty deep here. We kind of tend to forget, you know, what's what. We do a lot of 10mm testing, and then we get to something like 45 ACP where we're used to different velocities. This is not your typical 45 ACP type of penetration. That's a lot of energy dump at the beginning, and then the bullet made it almost to 20 inches. It really did touch very much almost 20 inches and bounce back to about 19. Resting at 19 right here, but like I said, bounce back from 20. This is what we call a shooter's block. This is not an FBI block. FBI blocks are 16 inches. So when you think about that, that's even more impressive in a way to look at this round, because it's making it all the way through a 20-inch block when we're used to seeing them go to 16 inches. From the top, we see about the same thing. Those rounds, they do create a nice amount of cavitation here, whatever they do when they first go. That fluting pushes things around, pushes things out of the way, and it keeps on driving forward, landing face forward all the way at the end. There's no reason to pull this out of here. It's going to look just like this cartridge right here. These things don't deform until they hit something very solid. These things push all kinds of fluid and flesh and whatever out of the way, and they will crush through bone. So what do I think? Usually I don't do a whole lot of commenting on my overall thoughts, but I love 45 ACP, and this is a round I would consider carrying in this gun. I don't currently have that in here right now, but I do carry this gun all the time. It's sprung heavy to be able to accept 45 Super, and that's crucial for shooting around like this. We've already discussed that in the previous video, but accuracy, and it'll make this gun function. It's got enough pop to it to really make that slide reciprocate. At distance, I'm sure it's a pretty good shooter. Through barriers, we're going to do some testing on that, but we know that solid copper does pretty well through auto glass, sheet metal, drywall, things like that. Not really much sends it off course. Solid objects send it off course. They make it veer. If it hits a solid steel pipe or something, yeah, that'll deflect it instead of smashing and breaking like a lead bullet. However, regular things that you might encounter for what you think of would a bullet be barrier blind, this stuff is pretty barrier blind. So I would not be afraid to carry this. I would have to test it through a few more magazines to make sure it always functions through this gun, but 20 inches of penetration, the foot-pounds are there. Even though we don't see a whole lot on the gel, I would carry this. Let me know if you would carry this. This is an interesting one. This might land in the whole bear defense territory. A lot of people talk about 10mm being bear defense, 44 Magnum, things like that. This might be a 45 option for something like that. So I hope you enjoy this kind of testing. We're going to do much more of this 45 Super testing and all other kinds of calibers. We have ammo test series for just about all of them. If not started, plan to be started. So hope to see you at those videos. And until we do see you next time, stay safe, have fun, and keep shooting.